At my mother's funeral, my butler suddenly received evidence of my fiancé's infidelity. Young, the woman Mr. Liam was keeping has already given birth to his child. Liam offered no explanation, merely saying, "You should focus on the funeral first." The next day, he didn't come to offer condolences for my mother, he only called. "I've been at the luxury retreat taking care of her recently, so I won't be at the funeral." When I didn't reply, he sighed, "Don't worry, she and I were just an accident. She doesn't want to ruin the strategic family alliance between the Hayes and Vance families. She just wants to keep the child as a memento. But I am the child's father, and I can't just have him and not raise him. After we're married, I'll stay at her place to take care of the child on Mondays, Wednesdays, Fridays, and Sundays, and I'll come home on Tuesdays, Thursdays, and Saturdays." I clenched my fists, my eyes red-rimmed as a bitter laugh escaped me. "Liam, we're breaking up. The strategic family alliance is off." Liam scoffed. "Your mother just died, don't play games with me." Without hesitation, I hung up and stood before Liam's archenemy. "Marry me, and we'll take down the estate. Are you in?" At the funeral, a flicker of surprise crossed Ethan's eyes. His usually stern face gradually flushed, and he stammered, "Our estate family tradition allows only one wife in a lifetime. If you marry me, you'll be mine forever." I thought it was hopeless, and turned to leave in disappointment. He firmly grabbed my hand, his usually defiant eyes now holding a hint of seriousness. "Grace, think carefully. This marriage cannot be undone." I smiled faintly and nodded with certainty. "Good, I won't." Ethan was originally the future husband my mother had chosen for me. His character, family background, and personality had all stood the test of time. If I hadn't fallen in love with Liam, I would have married him. The funeral arrangements were complicated, and Ethan helped me handle matters of offering condolences, keeping him busy for over half a month. During this time, Liam didn't call even once. For the past 2 weeks, whenever I checked my social media feed, I would see intimate photos of him and Lily. They were both smiling brightly, holding the child and making a heart gesture. The caption read, "The dearest and most beloved family." I scoffed, a bitter ache spreading through my chest. The next second, his call came through. His voice sounded somewhat languid. "The funeral's over, right? Want to come to the luxury retreat to see the child?" I looked at my dark circles in the rearview mirror and spoke calmly. "Liam, we've already broken up." A few seconds of silence followed on the other end before Liam simply hummed to himself. "That's fine. Lily has been a bit depressed after giving birth, seeing you would probably upset her." The tears I'd held back for over half a month finally fell. My eyes slightly red, I let out a self-deprecating laugh. "Liam, I said we broke up. Are you deaf?" He paused, then scoffed mockingly. "Grace, you've been with me for 5 years, you're practically used goods. Who would want you if you leave me? I told you this child was just an accident, why can't you let it go?" I didn't speak. From the other end of the line, I heard something shatter on the ground. Liam scoffed, "Fine, let's break up. I'll wait for you to come crawling back, begging for reconciliation." The call was abruptly cut off. I returned to my doorstep to find the password changed. Liam's phone was unreachable, so I had to find a random hotel to stay at. After waking up, Twitter pushed a live stream from the luxury retreat to my feed. Lily was enthusiastically interacting with everyone in the live stream, while Liam sat beside her, gazing at her with doting affection. That kind of tender gaze, I had once believed was exclusively mine. The live stream had been on for nearly 5 hours, and fans were flooding the comments. "So envious of the STR. Emer, living in a luxury retreat that costs $500,000 a month, with her husband by her side. So incredibly happy. I want one. I want a husband like that." Before inheriting the estate, Liam was a military officer who served and protected the United. The thing he disliked most was appearing on camera. I'd asked him to take a photo with me, and he'd always coldly refused. Yet now he was breaking his own rule for Lily, live streaming in front of a national audience. Lily smiled as she replied to a fan, "He's just so considerate." A gut-wrenching pain pierced my chest, yet I wiped away the tears from my eyes with a smile. Liam had never been a patient or considerate lover to me. I remembered one time I asked him to accompany me to a movie. After much coaxing and persistence, he finally agreed. But in the end, he slept through an hour and a half of the 2-hour film. When he woke, he rubbed his brow and irritably told me, "Being with you is simply a waste of my time." He could be affectionate and spend an entire day with Lily. Just not with me. Liam must have recognized my Twitter ID, as he called me. I'll give you half an hour. Come to the luxury retreat and take your mother's belongings. By the time I arrived, they had already ended the live stream. Lily smiled warmly at me. Grace, you came to see me. I ignored her, walked up to Liam, held out my hand, and calmly said, give them to me. His previously upturned lips tightened, and his expression darkened. Lily is talking to you. Are you mute? I forced a smile and looked at Lily. Congratulations, secretary. You successfully seduced my fiancé and gave birth to his baby. Next, you can consider leveraging the child to secure your position. Smash! Liam smashed the teacup he was holding onto the ground. If you can't speak properly, shut up. Lily suddenly clutched her stomach, crying out in pain, tears splashing onto the floor. Liam instantly tensed. Lily, what's wrong? Where does it hurt? She bit her lip. Our eyes red from crying, and looked at me. Grace, I don't want to ruin your relationship with Mr. Liam, but the doctor said this might be my only chance to be a mother. Please don't worry, once my postpartum recovery period is over, I'll leave and go far away. I promise I won't pester Mr. Liam. After saying that, she looked at the baby in the cradle. Mama is so sorry, making you lose your daddy right after you were born. But didn't mean it, please forgive Mama. She was sobbing, appearing to be in extreme pain and sorrow. Liam's gaze at me was venomous, and he became utterly terrifying. Making her cry makes you happy, doesn't it? I sneered. Such clumsy acting, and only you are captivated by it. My attitude enraged Liam. He ripped the pocket watch my mother had left from around his neck, raising it in the air as if to smash it to the ground. My pupils contracted, and I cried out urgently, no, don't. He didn't stop. Instead, he violently hurled the pocket watch into the distance. The watch face shattered on the floor, breaking into countless pieces. I tripped over a sharp table corner, hitting my bone. A sharp pain assaulted me, making me hiss in agony. Liam sneered, this is what you get for being insolent. Get out, and don't try to pull a scam here. Lily feigned concern, casting a glance my way. Grace, please get up. Mr. Liam saw you faking a fall. I gritted my teeth and gave her a cold glare. Seeing that I still dared to glare at Lily, Liam dragged me up from the floor. Lily's breasts are engorged, and she's changed out of a lot of dirty clothes. Go wash them thoroughly before you leave. Remember, hand wash. I shook him off. Why should I? Because you just bullied Lily. Liam's face was terrifyingly grim. You should apologize. I endured the piercing pain in my foot, straightened my back, and spat, in your dreams. Liam's eyes were icy as he shoved me into the bathroom. Bang, he locked the door from the outside. If you don't wash them clean, you not coming out. Liam, this is imprisonment. I forcefully rattled the doorknob, screaming, let me out. I hammered on the door, making loud thumping sounds, but outside, there was only dead silence. A burning pain radiated from my hands, and my foot throbbed with piercing agony. The room was filled with the sour smell of spoiled milk and vomit. I collapsed to my knees on the floor, drained of all strength. Through the door, Lily's feigned voice carried through. Mr. Liam, if you treat Grace like this, won't she be angry when she comes out? Liam scoffed lightly. What if she gets angry? I'll just coax her a bit and she'll be fine. Besides, this is her fault. If she doesn't change her heiress temper, who will indulge her once she marries into the estate? The family has been military for generations. If Hayes didn't lack an heir, my mother wouldn't have let me marry an heiress who is useless except for spending money. Lily feigned worry. Mr. Liam, if you talk about Grace like that, won't she break up with you? A sudden silence fell outside the room. After a long while, Liam's cold voice, tinged with arrogance, finally broke the silence. She won't. She's an heiress with no inheritance rights. The estate is her best option. Besides, she loves me so desperately that if I told her to die, she'd probably agree. I desperately clutched my chest, unable to believe that I would ever hear such words from Liam's mouth. My family has been merchants for generations, and we were often targeted by criminals from the underworld. 6 years ago, my mother and I were traveling abroad when she was hijacked by thugs. They held a gun, pressing it against my mother's temple. I screamed until my throat was hoarse, convinced I was about to lose my mother. At that critical moment, a whooshing sound cut through the air. The thug was killed instantly. Liam held the gun, dressed in a military uniform, broad-shouldered and narrow-waisted, and swiftly saved my mother and me. I saw his Rue face in the military base's off-road vehicle. His features were delicate, and his well-formed nose bridge was high and prominent. I fell for him at first sight. For this, I relentlessly pursued him for an entire year until he finally agreed to date me. During our 5 years together, I was completely devoted to him, hanging on his every word. My genuine affection had earned me such a cruel and ungrateful evaluation. How laughable. The bathroom door was pushed open. Liam saw me squatting on the floor, pale-faced, and unhappily pulled me to my feet. I just asked you to wash some clothes. Who are you trying to play the victim for, squatting there? Acid rose from my stomach to my throat. I forcibly swallowed, suppressing the urge to vomit, as I searched for my mother's remaining belongings. The pocket watch was already in pieces, scattered into fragments. I picked them up piece by piece. Liam's voice came from behind me. Once finishes her postpartum recovery period, we'll get married. After we're married, Lily will live with us. Lily cast a grateful look my way. Grace, thank you for accepting me and the baby. I'll be grateful. I didn't have time for her nonsense. I turned to Liam. No need. We won't be living together. I've taken the belongings. Tell me the house password, and I'll have a moving company move my things. Liam rattled off a string of numbers, gazing at me with utter disdain. Making such a big fuss, only to move back in the end. Lily tugged his sleeve and timidly began, Mr. Liam, in the room. Liam's eyes flashed, and he took Lily, getting into my car. I'll go back with you, just in case you take something by mistake. Back home, I finally understood why Liam had insisted on coming back with me. Scattered on the sofa were adult novelty items for male pleasure. On the dining table were adult candles. The bedroom exuded an alluring, sensual atmosphere, with handcuffs attached to both the headboard and footboard. These past few days, I had been busy with my mother's funeral all by myself. I had rarely been home. Liam and Lily, on the other hand, had clearly let loose without restraint. I walked into the walk-in closet and found jewelry scattered everywhere. Several bags that had been on the shelves were also missing. Lily followed behind me, smiling faintly with triumph. Grace, is anything missing? She couldn't wait to see me lose my temper. Unfortunately, I simply smiled faintly. A mistress is still just a mistress, only capable of petty, underhanded acts. You. Lily was furious, a glint of malice flashing in her eyes. She cried out in surprise, clutching her stomach, and sank to the floor. Grace, I haven't finished my postpartum recovery period yet. How could you hit me? Liam rushed in and helped Lily to her feet. He was enraged and casually slapped me hard across the face. Grace, I see you've been an heiress for too long and grown arrogant and overbearing. Liam didn't hold back. My face immediately swelled up. My temples throbbed with anger, and I nearly lost control. I didn't hit her. He didn't believe me. He yanked me out of the walk-in closet and threw me to the floor. Get out, go back to your Vance. Don't come back until you realize your mistake. My overflowing rage gradually turned into resentment. I rushed forward and violently slapped Lily across the face. Slap! Liam was enraged, raising his hand to strike me. I gritted my teeth and stared directly at him. Now that was my doing. I turned and walked away, my eyes, to my shame, tearing up once again. Stepping out, heavy rain poured down, relentlessly pelting me. I curled up on the ground, sobbing uncontrollably. After a long while, I realized the rain had stopped falling on me. I twisted my head to see why. Ethan had arrived at some point, holding an umbrella, shielding me from the downpour. He extended a hand to me, his voice filled with unconcealable deep sympathy. Grace, I'll take you home. Back at the estate, looking the familiar courtyard and the familiar housekeeper, I couldn't help but recall the past. Ethan's mother and my mother were close friends. They had arranged a childhood engagement for us very early on. But at that time, I often argued with my mother, and by extension, I didn't care for Aunt or even little Ethan. After middle school, I went to Milan to study art. Ethan was sent by his family to the UK to study business administration. More than 10 years later, our reunion was at my mother's funeral. In a daze, Ethan's mother carried a bowl of ginger tea towards me. She anxiously pulled me into a hug, her concern a deep sympathy. That, honestly, letting you get drenched in such heavy rain. When he gets back, Mom will give him a piece of her mind for you. Mom? Ethan awkwardly turned his face away and cleared his throat. I'll go prepare some clothes for you to change into. After left, Aunt smiled and handed me the ginger tea. Ethan already told us you two are getting married soon. So, you'd better start calling me Mom. Oh, I've been waiting for this day for a long time. Let's just stick with the date your mother chose before she passed, no changes. The date my mother had chosen was for next month. That was originally supposed to be Liam's and my wedding. The ginger tea in my mouth gradually warmed me from the inside. At this moment, my eyes inevitably welled up. The next day, Ethan brought all the necessary wedding items before me, letting me review them one by one. I had originally thought that with such short notice, I wouldn't have enough time to prepare, and might even have to revert to the previously arranged wedding plan. But to my surprise, Ethan had already prepared everything, leaving me nothing to worry about. It clearly showed how much he valued me. As for Liam, in 5 years of dating, if I hadn't pushed for marriage, he wouldn't have wanted to get married at all. Every major and minor detail of the wedding had been handled solely by me. Whether he loved me or not, it was truly too obvious. Thinking of this, I called the previous wedding planning team and cancelled the wedding. The next second, I received a call from Mrs. Liam. Grace, is your brain glued with paste? How can you be so willful, cancelling the wedding just like that? What did Liam do to upset you now? Can't you just tolerate it? An heiress with such a temper all the time, only our Liam would even want you. No one in the estate seemed to genuinely welcome me. Before, I had thought Liam's mother simply had a sharp tongue but a kind heart, and actually liked me. That was until I heard what Liam said at the luxury retreat. Thinking of this, I spoke calmly. Liam and I have already broken up. The wedding should naturally be cancelled. Break up? Did you make Liam angry again? Then apologize. You're a girl, if you don't know how to please your husband, in the future. I didn't want to hear her ridicule any longer, so I hung up the phone. The next day, Ethan and I went to the bridal salon to try on wedding dresses. He took a conference call midway through, telling me to go ahead and try them on. I put on the wedding dress that Ethan had specially flown in from Italy and smiled at my reflection in the mirror. A sound came from behind me. I turned with a smile, blurting out, "Does it look good?" A flicker of astonishment crossed Liam's eyes. I straightened my expression, only then noticing Lily emerging from another changing room. Liam's face instantly darkened, and he reached out, ripping off my veil. Fine. Grace, you said you wouldn't get married, but you're secretly here trying on wedding dresses. You're playing hard to get and having a blast, aren't you? His movements were brutal, ripping it off in an instant. The veil's pin directly sliced my face, and blood gushed out, dripping onto the multi-million-dollar wedding dress, spreading into a crimson stain. I frowned, crying out in pain. Liam, I'm not here for you. Lily's eyes instantly lit up, and she began to add fuel to the fire. Grace, I didn't mean to marry Mr. Liam. I just wanted to take a wedding photo as a memento. Liam sneered. Why explain anything to this kind of woman? Grace, I used to just think you were being pretentious, and it was because I loved you that I gave in to you again and again. I never imagined you'd be so willful even with our wedding. Fine, this marriage, let's just call it off. With that, he reached out to rip off my wedding dress, intending to kick me out of the bridal salon. I struggled desperately. Just as he pressed down on my waist, preparing to rip off my wedding dress in front of everyone, Ethan arrived just in time, tripping Liam with one kick, and steadied my waist. My wife is trying on a wedding dress. And you, a deadbeat ex-fiancé, certainly have the nerve to try and make a scene. Liam rose, wincing in pain, and stared at Ethan's hand on my waist with a disdainful sneer. Grace, you even found another man to back you up. Being bold is one thing, but you're also arrogant and reckless. Lily feigned worry from the side. Grace, please make him leave. You're being so thoughtless, and Mr. Liam will get angry. It was clearly his infidelity first, and he even had a child. Now he's calling me willful and thoughtless. What kind of logic is that? I clenched my fists, staring fixedly at Liam. Get lost. For the sake of you saving my mother back then, I didn't hold your infidelity against the estate, but that doesn't mean I don't care. Liam, acting superior, pulled Lily into his embrace and smiled silently. You're holding it against me? Grace, I'm only giving you one chance. Either you accept Lily, and we get married and live a good life. Or we separate, and you stop coming to find me. Liam confidently believed that I was still desperate for his affection, just like before. He believed he could summon and dismiss me at will. Ethan, his hand still on my waist, spoke calmly. Liam, don't be so self-important. Wedding invitations for the estate and the estate were sent out yesterday. Liam opened his phone, tapped into the family group chat, and found the messages had already exploded, everyone asking what was happening with his and my marriage. He looked at me in disbelief, a trace of shock flashing in his eyes. Grace, you. I called over a sales assistant and looked at Liam. For the damaged wedding dress, have Liam pay the compensation. So he doesn't make a pointless fuss, acting self-important. I lost my interest, changed out of the wedding dress, and left the bridal salon with Ethan. Liam chased after us. He gripped my arm, gritting his teeth. Grace, who allowed you to suddenly change grooms? Have you and he been secretly involved for a while? I shook off his hand, slapped him hard across the face, and said coldly, Liam, I'm not like you, lacking morals and decency. After I got into the car, Liam called me many times. I immediately blocked his number, out of sight, out of mind. But to my dismay, the next day, he came directly to the estate with his mother and Lily. After my mother died, only Grandma and I remained at the estate. Grandma suffered from Alzheimer's and couldn't remember most things, yet she remembered Liam saving her daughter. When she heard Liam say I was breaking up with him and remarrying, she grew furious and picked up her cane to hit me. Lily also added fuel to the fire from the side. Grace, Mr. Liam loves you so much, and you dated for 5 years. Now you're saying you won't marry him? Is that fair to Mr. Liam? Mrs. Liam said haughtily, exactly. My son marrying you is your good fortune, don't be ungrateful. You're almost 30, and it won't be easy to find someone now. Do you really think anyone else would accept you, used goods who dated my son for 5 years? My temples throbbed with anger. Liam knew Grandma was ill, yet he dared to bring people here to twist the truth and agitate her. He was utterly despicable. Liam saw me glaring at high and, with feigned kindness, spoke, I know you're angry about Lily. How about this, I promise you that after we're married, Lily will live outside, and I'll only visit the child once a week. Are you satisfied now? Before I could even refute, Grandma, standing nearby, frowned. Child? What child? Lily smiled brightly. Grandma, I gave birth to Mr. Liam's child. Mrs. Liam held Grandma's hand and smiled faintly. Grandma, don't worry, they're all my biological grandsons. When has a son, I'll love them all. Grandma's face changed drastically. Abandoning her conciliatory demeanor, she picked up her cane and started hitting them. Get out. You cursed wretches, you want my granddaughter to raise your child, to be a stepmother? Dream on. So what if you saved my daughter? Your heart is rotten. Get out of our house. And never come back. I told Ethan about this. He arrived quickly, immaculately dressed in extremely formal attire, and he even brought his ID documents. I blinked, a little confused. Ethan handed me an exquisite gift box, his face a little flushed. I had someone custom make this dress for you. Put it on, and we'll go register our marriage. I was a bit stunned. Ethan, however, pulled my hand, speaking somewhat enticingly, Grace, didn't Liam say he didn't believe you didn't love him? Let's go get the marriage certificate and be together openly. Then I can move in and protect you, right? Although his words sounded good, that was the underlying meaning. But I still felt something was off. Still, Ethan had a point. Since we were already preparing for marriage, getting the certificate now was perfectly justifiable. Thinking of this, I turned to Grandma to get the ID documents. To my surprise, Grandma remembered the morning's events and raised her cane to hit me. That man treated you like that. And you still want to marry him? Are you still my granddaughter? He walked all over you. While dodging her cane, I explained, not marrying him, I'm marrying Ethan. Ethan? Grandma murmured his name and lowered her cane. She looked up, as if remembering something, and sighed. Ah, that boy from the estate. Grandma looked at me and suddenly smiled. If it's him, that's good. That's very good. He's finally gotten what he wished for. In my confusion, Grandma said no more, simply opening the safe and handing me the ID documents. Go, and be good to him. Ethan and I successfully registered our marriage. Inside City Hall, he held our 2 marriage certificates, grinning from ear to ear. He immediately took out his phone and posted the 2 marriage certificates to his social media feed. The caption read, Wife for life. I could truly feel his joy, and I couldn't help but be a little lost in thought. At this moment, I actually felt that our marriage was more than just a strategic family alliance. He had love for me. As drove me home, I asked him how he knew Grandma. He held my hand and smiled faintly. Grace, after you went abroad, I often went to the estate to see Grandma, so we naturally became familiar. My intuition told me there was more to it than that. But before I could investigate further, my phone rang. Liam called me from a different number, his voice sounding tight with barely contained anger. Grace, you dare to marry another man behind my back? I sneered. You dared to find a mistress behind my back and even had a child. I'm just getting married, so what's the big deal? He lost his composure and cursed at me over the phone. Grace, don't forget, most of the estate's orders rely on the estate's cooperation. Without me, the estate can prepare for bankruptcy. He slammed the phone down, abruptly ending the call. I snorted coldly. If he hadn't mentioned it, I would have forgotten. The estate should withdraw from the estate, otherwise, when takes action, he can leave people with absolutely nothing. Ethan is Seaview City's renowned business prodigy, the United's own Wolf of Wall Street. He once brought down 3 companies overnight. His methods in the business world were ruthless. But later news reports revealed that those 3 companies had all been operating illicit businesses. Ethan had, in a way, eradicated 3 cancerous tumors from society. Thinking of this, I glanced at the man in the driver's seat. Dressed in a well-tailored white suit, his fingers on the steering wheel were long and strong, and his profile was sharply defined. A pair of gold-rimmed glasses further enhanced his distinguished appearance. His expression looked as if he had just won a battle, and he seemed to be in a very good mood. Refined scoundrel. Ethan's thin lips curved into a faint smile. The next day, I withdrew all of the estate's resources from the estate. Liam demanded an astronomical breach of contract fee, attempting to make things difficult for me. I directly mobilized all available cash flow and paid him the entire sum. That night, Ethan made his move. The estate erupted into a serious public relations crisis. At the same time, surprisingly, the estate's internal finances revealed a severe deficit. The investigation revealed that the money had all been transferred by Lily. Her brother had gambled away everything in loss. Lily had no choice but to use the estate's money to cover his losses. Liam flew into a rage, smashing many things in the luxury retreat. Someone filmed the incident and uploaded the video online. Netizens were abuzz with discussion. Serves him right, cheated with a mistress, and the mistress ran off with all the money. Exactly, he got what he deserved. A scumbag man paired with a trashy woman, a match made in heaven. I need to quickly dump all my stocks, lest I end up losing everything like that scumbag. Overnight, more than half of the estate's employees resigned. Partner companies also canceled their orders. Stock prices plummeted, pushing the company to the brink of bankruptcy. The next day, as I left my house, I ran into Mrs. Liam at the door. She was dressed elegant. Smiling at me as if letting bygones be bygones. Grace, you've always been the daughter-in-law Auntie most approved of. How about this? Auntie will help you drive that little vixen away, and you give Liam another chance, okay? I shook off her hand, flashed the diamond engagement ring on my index finger, and smiled faintly. Auntie, I'm sorry, but I've found someone better. That kind of scoundrel and an awful mother-in-law like you? Just keep them to inflict misery on others. Mrs. Liam immediately bristled with rage upon hearing this. What are you? How dare you speak to me like that? Our family has been military for generations. So what if we go bankrupt? We still have our family foundation. My son won't have trouble finding a good daughter-in-law. Her words, however, reminded me of something. I immediately reported Lily's theft of my Hermes bags to the police. When the police came to search Liam's mansion, I went along with them. Liam was in the room, silently drinking, with a pile of empty liquor bottles scattered across the floor. He saw the police arrive, his face darkening, but then he saw me and instantly brightened with overjoyed surprise. Grace, you came to see me? I stepped back, refusing his touch. Don't misunderstand. I'm here to move my things. The luxury items I had left here were enough to buy a mansion. Sure enough, based on the purchase records and receipts I provided, the police found more than half of the items missing. I looked at Liam. These missing luxury items are worth 10 million. Will you compensate me, or should I let the police go find Lily? As soon as Liam heard that name, he angrily smashed the liquor bottle in his hand. Don't mention her to me. I was just cheated by her. Liam looked at me, his eyes filled with immense remorse. Grace, I was wrong, I was truly wrong. Can we get back together? It was my ingratitude, my blindness, my fickleness. I know I was wrong about everything. I promise I won't make the same mistake in. I'll definitely live a good life with you. Please forgive me, okay? I didn't have time to listen to his repentance. I threw a compensation list in his face. 3 days. Transfer the money to this account. Otherwise, I'll have the police arrest Lily. Liam's eyes reddened, and he roared behind me. Grace, I'm truly wrong. Please forgive me for the sake of how much we once loved each other. I had thought Liam had at least some deep affection for Lily. But to my surprise, this man was truly cold-blooded. Liam couldn't find Lily's brother, so he couldn't get the money. He brought people to the loss, holding Lily. Make your brother give us the money, or I'll chop off your finger. Amidst the cold glint of the weapons, Lily trembled in fear. She knelt before Liam, sobbing, My brother has no money left, all his money was lost to the loss. Liam, I really didn't mean it. I was just afraid they would actually chop my brother up, boo-hoo-hoo. Liam showed no mercy. With a swift movement, he chopped off Lily's little finger. A painful scream suddenly erupted. Liam said coldly, still trying to lie to me? The Vegas didn't take that much money at all, your brother took it all. If you dare to lie to me again, next time, it won't be as simple as a finger. Lily fainted on the spot from fear. Liam immediately demanded a basin of water and poured it over her to wake her up. She trembled uncontrollably, continuously kneeling and begging for mercy. Liam, I was wrong. My brother really gave all the money to the loss. Please spare my brother. I promise I'll never appear before you again. Liam waved both hands, and several strong men appeared, pulling Lily into a sealed room. Liam kicked Lily, who was lying on the ground, his eyes icy cold. You know what's going to happen next. If you don't speak, I'll make sure you experience it firsthand. Lily bit her lip hard, tears splashing onto the ground one by one. Liam, I just finished my postpartum recovery period. My body hasn't read yet. Please don't torment me like this. Liam didn't hear a satisfactory answer. He allowed the burly men to unbuckle their pants and close in on her. Horrific cries echoed in the room, lingering for a long time. After a long while, the room reeked of blood. Liam walked in, looking at the dying Lily on the ground. Still not willing to talk? Lily mumbled, My brother. He really has no money left. Liam, out of options, directly brought the child. Lily saw the hand gripping the child's neck and trembled violently. That's your child. How could you? How dare you? Think carefully, Lily. Lily's face streamed with tears, her body trembling as she cried profusely. Finally, she revealed her brother's whereabouts. He's in Southeast. Lily handed over her brother's contact information. She truly believed her brother had no money and was hiding in Southeast, wanting to save his life. As it turned out, when Liam found Lily's brother, he was playing hide-and-seek with over a dozen transgender entertainers. Around his neck hung several chunky gold chains, worth tens of millions. Liam had him taken into custody and deported, but only a third of the funds were recovered. Liam certainly didn't want the estate to go bankrupt. He came to find me, wanting to win my heart back. We had been in love for 5 years, but he had sent me flowers only a handful of times. This time, however, he filled the entrance of the estate with roses. He bought the pastries I loved, holding the reconciliation note I had given him before, to ask me to reconcile. Grace, I bought movie tickets. How about we go watch a movie together? I looked at his desperate plea for forgiveness and found it only laughable. Liam, you aren't incapable of love, you just don't love me. Leave. Belated affection is utterly worthless. Seeing that I wouldn't fall for it, he plopped down and knelt directly in front of me, deeply remorseful. Grace, I was wrong. Give me another chance, I'll make it up to you. I directly threw the roses in my hand at his face. Get lost. Don't make me say it a second time. After left, Ethan showed me a video of Liam tormenting Lily at the casino. His tone carried a hint of jealousy, and he spoke cautiously. Grace, you absolutely must not be deceived by him. A man like him will chew you up and spit you out, leaving nothing behind. I chuckled, my eyes sparkling. We're already married. How can you still be afraid I'll go back to him? I'd rather never marry at all than marry a man like him. Ethan breathed a sigh of relief and held me in his arms. He rested his head on my shoulder, whispering softly. I'm relieved you think that way. The next day, news broke about the estate. The video of Liam tormenting Lily at the casino was released. The estate was sealed off, and all its assets were liquidated. At the same time, Lily was found by the police, paralyzed from the waist down. Liam was arrested and imprisoned on charges of assault and instigating the molestation of women. The day the police came to the estate to arrest him, Mrs. Liam cried hysterically. "What misfortune have I brought upon myself? My life is truly miserable." The baby in her arms cried loudly. I no longer cared about these things. Ethan and my wedding was today. He chose my favorite pink flower sea and illuminated the hotel's sky with stars. I walked on the red rose petals, happily reaching out my hand to him. The wedding vows asked if we were willing to spend our lives together. He and I exchanged a smile, and I blurted out, "I do." Grandma and the Taylor family sat below the stage, grinning from ear to ear. One day after we were married, I held our child and asked Ethan, why was he willing to marry me? His expression was indignant, clenching his teeth in anger. "I've liked you since I was little, and you didn't even know?" I blinked and blurted out, "No, I didn't." Mrs. Ethan smiled and took the child from my arms. "It's normal that you didn't know." This boy cried every day in middle school, insisting he wanted to date you. Your mom and I kept it a secret and quickly sent you two abroad, just to prevent you from dating too early. Ethan looked at Mrs. Ethan resentfully. "Mom, I almost didn't get a wife." I laughed through my tears and threw myself into his arms. "How could that be? Your wife has always been here."